Welcome back to my channel. So this is the part 2 of this two-piece outfit we made. The part 1 was the top, so the part 2 is going to be the skirt part. So yeah, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4. I've rolled out my waistline. So from that line, I'll be marking out my waist measurement divided by 4. From that line, I'm marking out 8 inches, which is my waist to my hip. So I'm marking out my hip measurement divided by 4 plus my 2 inches for my sewing allowance. I've gone ahead to mark out the length of my skirt. So with my ruler, I'm connecting all the lines together. So yeah, I'm going ahead to mark out my zip allowance because obviously the skirt will have a zipper. So I'm cutting everything out. I'll use the same pattern to cut out my lining. So yeah, I've gone ahead to fix my pocket. It's the same process I did for the top part. So I've gone ahead to fix my pocket, and my lining is 2 inches shorter than my main fabric. So I'm trying to show you that my lining is shorter than my main fabric. Like we did for the front part, we use it to pull up the skirt up so that you have that nice effect at the hem. So you just use it and pull it up. So if you want your seam to be hidden all inside, you just sew it round like this before pulling out by the waistline. So but that's not what I want. I'll just pull it up, then at the end of it I'll just weave it. So now, because I want my waistband to relax very well on my client's waist, I've gone ahead to fold the front piece into 2. So from the middle part I mark out 1/2 inch. So I'm connecting the 1/2 inch to the actual waist measurement of my client. Just see what I just did. Connected it to my curve ruler to my actual waist measurement of my client. So I cut that out. So this will enable the waistband relax. With this curve, my waistband will relax very well on my client's waist. So yeah, I'm trying to cut out my waistband. I'll cut out 2 pieces of this waistband. Then I will turn it by the upper part and attach it to my skirt. So yeah, I'm cutting out my waistband. So I've cut out the first piece. So I'm placing that out and cutting it again. One will serve as the lining. So I'll just go ahead and trim out that very sharp edge. So I'll do the same thing by the lining. So I'll just go ahead and stitch that out. See, I've gone ahead to turn my waistband. So this is the curve I'm telling you about. So just imagine, see the way my waistband is resting, very nice on the skirt. So yeah, I've gone ahead to clean out the back piece, the zip allowance, and also the hem. So I've placed it to the front piece. Here I'm trying to mark out the actual measurement of my clients divided by 2. So this is what I'm trying to do. So I'm marking out the hip measurement. So I'm connecting my lines now. So I'll just stitch it through, then fix my zipper. I'll show you how to fix my zipper. So here I've gone ahead to mark the middle of my waistband and also the middle of my skirt. So I'll just notch that and match it up. So I'll just start pinning from the middle. I'll pin all the way to the zipper allowance, and also on the other side I'll just pin all the way to the zipper allowance and stitch it out. So I've done that. I'm just showing you. So now it's time to attach my zip. So yeah, I'm just making sure that the line aligned. So you have to make sure that these lines align so that your skirt will have a pleasing look. So yeah, I'm just showing you that it has to align. As you can see, I've not covered the waistband. It's still open. So I want to attach my zipper first. So yeah, I'm just showing you that you stitch it, and I'm also showing you where your stitch will stop. You're not extending to the lining of the waistband, like I'm showing you. So yeah, I'm stitching my zipper to my skirt. So I'll finish fixing my zipper. So this is how it looks like. So I have to check. So this is what I'm telling you. You have to ensure that the line align, and also at the top you have to make sure that it aligns. So you notice that I've not covered my lining of my waistband. So this is what I want to do with it. Just watch carefully and see what I will do to cover that out. Just watch the way I am folding it. See the way I'm pulling the zipper out of the way, so I'll be able to stitch it. So I'm gonna have to pin that edge. See the hem of the waistband, I folded it up so it will be easy to attach it to sew the entire waistband out. So I'll go ahead with my pin and pin it. So I'm gonna have to change my foot to a zipper foot for easy sewing. So I'll just stitch the waistband. So I'm just going out carefully. So I'll just flip it over and show you how it looks like. So this is how it looks. So just go ahead and do it on the same side. So on the other side, so this is how my zipper is looking like. So from here, you just cover your waistband and pin it all the way around and top stitch. So you have to pin it very well because you'll be sewing from the front of your skirt. So you have to pin it very well so you have control over your stitch. So I'm just showing you that you have to make sure that you cover your previous stitch. So you have to put as many pins as you can so that when you stitch from the front, you're making sure that it's also stitching the back of the lining. It's covering everywhere, so no stitch will be left open. So if you don't pin it, I'm just showing you that if you don't pin it very well, you end up having space. So I'll just add more pins and go ahead and stitch it. So yeah, I'm showing you that I'll be stitching from the front of my material, of my fabric, so that I have more control on how I want my stitch to look like. So I'll just go ahead and change my zipper foot to my regular foot so I can sew it very well. So I'll just go over my waistband carefully, and after that I'll just give it a nice press and my skirt will be ready. So yeah, I've gone ahead to stitch it down and everything is looking nice and clean. And one last thing, remember my zipper is very long, so when you have a situation like this is what you do. So you cut it the length you want it to be, then you just get a piece of fabric and cover it, so that if you just cut it and leave it like that, there's a tendency that it will open, and so you have to cover it. So you get a piece of fabric, stitch it once, you fold it, put the edges inside. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and trim out the excess out. So just watch the way I'm bending it, putting all the edges inside. Then I'll just go over it and sew. And that's all. My zipper is looking all nice and covered. So now I'm not shaking about my zipper being open or... So this is how it looks like. So this is the finished look of my dress. Thank you so very much for watching.